This is Eric Erb Live. You can find me online at theericerbshow.org. Also on Spreaker, that's Spreaker.com/Eric Erb Live. And right here on Anchor, that's Anchor.fm, Anchor.fm/Eric Erb Live. Like, share, subscribe if you like this podcast. I'm also on Twitter, of course, folks, at theericerbshow.com. Okay, let's get right into the news. Today's news comes from naturalnews.com. That's naturalnews.com. And the headlines, it's quite troubling, actually. I'm kind of speechless here, but I shouldn't be. I should be typically expecting this from the liberal left. The headlines read, lawsuit worthy, YouTube literally announces platform will begin to discriminate against straight white male creators. Again, let me read that to you one more time, folks. Lawsuit worthy, YouTube literally announces platform will begin to discriminate against straight white male creators. And let me get right into it. The left screams about how they want to achieve fairness and equality. Then they work double shifts to become the biggest discriminators on the planet. And now YouTube has joined the fray, literally admitting content gatekeepers will be selectively censoring straight white males so that they can achieve more diversity on their platform. This week, the video hosting platform announced that it would be issuing a survey to all creators asking for their race, their gender, sexual orientation, just ahead of adjusting algorithms to artificially boost diverse creator communities, code for anti-white, anti-heterosexual discrimination. As our CEO, Susan Wojcicki, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the name right, doesn't matter, but the CEO of YouTube wrote in June, we're examining how our policies and our products are working for everyone, especially the black community, and working close with any gaps, YouTube said in a statement posted on the blog. Our goal is to make YouTube a place where creators can thrive in the long term. They've done extensive work in this area, but have heard concerns across various communities, their ability to grow their channels, the statement said. We want to ensure our systems do not reflect unintentional bias, and the existing process is currently limiting because we have information about content not identifying information about the creators it added. How about this? Maybe some of the content being created by minorities is terrible, and that's why it's not popular, because there are a lot of straight white men who create bad content too, by the way, which is why their channels don't grow. But that's okay. It's not the creator color or LGBT creators' subscriber base that doesn't grow. It's not fair. And it's also true creators living in nations of color. To elevate a concern from a specific creator, concerns that monetization systems are working differently than for different creators. We need to have data about which videos come from which communities, the statement continued. Okay, I want to pause right there, folks. And I just want to say that if you are a creator on YouTube, which I am, and I'm in the process and will be moving to other platforms, one being BitChute. There's a couple of different platforms. I'm on Anchor, Anchor.fm, and of course Spreaker, Spreaker.com. I'm all over. I'm on all kinds of platforms, including Apple as well, Apple Podcast. But all I can say is, from a perspective that if YouTube does this, which they're currently doing, to cater to the LGBT community, to cater to Black Lives Matter, to cater to these different ethnic groups. The big creators, all I could say is, and I just point and I quote, Joe Rogan got tired of this bullshit. Joe Rogan is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, podcaster out there and on the planet right now for podcasting. He has millions and millions and millions of subscribers and millions of views, especially when he has folks on like Alex Jones and different other guests on there as well. Joe Rogan knew what he was doing, and he moved. He went over to Spotify. Now, the creators that are white male, and there's a lot of us out here, some are better than others. Again, I go back to like Joe Rogan. He does very, very, very well. He has millions and millions of subscribers, and people subscribe to them because why? Their content isn't shit. Their content's great content. And this is part of the problem. YouTube's using their algorithms to cater to minorities, which I'll be totally honest, when you start rubbing that shit down people's throats, we don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just going to say that. Excuse my language. No, not excuse me. We don't give a fuck anymore. You've crammed this shit down the American people and everybody on the planet. They're sick and tired of hearing about it. They don't want to hear about it. Just let creators create. Let the LGBT do their thing, whatever they want to do. Let Black Lives Matter. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm totally against all that bullshit. I have black friends. I have a lot of black friends up north. I have black friends down here as well in Florida. You're trying to take the successful white creator and you're trying to push him down to the bottom of the barrel to make your platform more equal and balanced on both sides. And it's like we would say, like anything, I played sports most of my entire life, or at least when I was growing up as a kid. If you can't keep up, try, practice harder, get better, work out. That's not my fault. I should not be penalized because I'm working out, I'm training. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in order to make the team, in order to do good, in order to be a rising star, just like in baseball. I played baseball for years. So that goes hand in hand with what's going on here. These people want a leg up or 2 or 3 legs up because their content, most of their content, isn't worth a shit. I'm just going to say that. I'm not saying that I'm all this and I'm all that, but I'm just simply pointing out a lot of things that's wrong here. And the things that are wrong is catering to a certain group of people. You watch, YouTube will tank. YouTube will tank by the starting of the year. There's different platforms out there. There's New Pipe, that's decentralized video platform. And then besides YouTube, there's BitChute. There's a lot of different ones that are springing up. It just, YouTube over time, and now Spotify, of course, are hosting videos. A lot of the alternative networks can do that. I know Gab.com, and everybody pretends they hate Gab, and the media just can't stand Gab, and all the liberal groups can't stand Gab, but Gab.com. They have now, and they're rolling out with a video platform system. So again, it's just, that's where we're going to get away from YouTube. That's where we're going to get away from the Facebook bullshit, the YouTube Now bullshit, the Google bullshit. We're finding alternative, different types of media. So again, and let me just throw in, there's the Twitch platform. That's okay. I actually like Discord a lot better. Discord is a platform mostly for gaming and different things like that. Gaming, messaging, different things like that. But they do have different chat rooms and different things you can join. Same with Telegram. Telegram's another app that you can use also to share videos with, and upload and message and different. It's originally a messenger app, but it's kind of turned into just about everything. So again, there's a lot of platforms evolving to get away from the censorship, and this is a classic example of the bullshit that YouTube's rolling out with and has been, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I know they've dinged me on 3 or 4 of my videos before, or my podcasts rather, and so it's just like anything else. It's just typical. I get used to it. Typical YouTube bullshit. And again, Google owned, that's to be expected. That's how it is. When you have Facebook in charge, they don't care. They just want to sell your data. Google is nothing but a data miner. Apple, just in a more secretive way, they just have a little more of the Apple people, the millions of people that buy Apple phones. They're brainwashed. They don't seem to get that or even seem to care that their data is being undermined and they're being controlled. They don't give a rat's ass. They just think they run around with the status, oh, I have an iPhone, I'm better than you, you just have a stupid Android, and they think about this. They don't realize that their data is being mined, and their data being mined, and their rights are being taken away day by day by day. So let's finish the rest of the article here. And as I conclude this article here, again, why isn't content the key? After all, for everything else in media, if the content is generally viewed as bad, most people on social media, then they're not going to catch on. Artificially suppressing content that might actually be thought as pretty good by most that see it, based on skin color, gender, or preference, sounds like YouTube is just begging for a lawsuit. And the platform doesn't seem to care, as the statement indicates. Today we are announcing new effort to us to proactively identify potential gaps in our system that might impact creators' opportunity to reach their full potential. Starting in 2021, YouTube will ask creators voluntarily basis to provide us with their gender, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity. We will look closely at how the content from different communities is treated in the search and discovery monetizations. We'll also be looking at possible patterns of hate, harassment, discrimination that may affect some communities more than others. Again, the bottom line is that if you're okay with being censored just based on being a white guy who likes a woman, then by all means continue to post content to YouTube. But if you don't want to be censored based on any factor, maybe try a different video platform that doesn't base its algorithms on identity politics. And another one is a good one now that I'm also a member of is Brighteon, Brighteon, Brighteon.com. It's the same thing there. You can post videos, and you can post them there. All the creators out there, if you want another alternative. BitChute probably being the #1 alternative, and then Brighteon is a little farther down the list. But again, somebody will say, they'll argue with me and they'll say, well, Eric, they just don't get the views, they don't get this, they don't get that. Well, I'm going to tell you folks, if you want to be controlled, and if you want your business to slowly be taken away, just like the frog in the boiling pot, the frog doesn't know that the frog's being boiled to death by YouTube, say, turning the burner up on the stove as the frog continues to boil slowly but surely. And that's exactly the same type of scenario what goes on here. You won't know it, but you'll eventually feel it. You'll feel it in your pocketbook when you're not making the money, you're deplatformed, so on and so forth, because you're a white, straight male. And that's just the way it is. That's where we're going. This is a very scary, scary, scary time to be living in. However, this is just the way the world is going. There's what we can do, again, is by getting off of these platforms. go into other platforms, and again, Spotify is starting the video. They already have it right now with Joe Rogan. BitChute is a good one. Brighteon.com is a good one. Gab, you can post videos to Gab, I believe, Gab.com. Minds.com, I think, is looking into a platform where you can actually upload videos there. I think you can already do it on Minds.com. There's a lot of different avenues and different ways that you can go about this, rather than throwing in the towel and just saying, I'm going to stay with YouTube. Well, if that's what you want, if you want to stay with YouTube, then that's your prerogative. If you want to give YouTube the ability to use you and then throw you away like a dirty tampon, then that's your business. However, I choose not to do that. I choose to do and work with platforms that respect me, and you have a mutual respect for one another, that don't take away your civil liberties or rights, your freedom of speech. That's what I choose, and I tend to gravitate always towards them type of platforms rather than YouTube. And yeah, I know YouTube's the big boy on the block, just like Facebook and just like Twitter and all that. But over the years, I've gravitated again towards decentralized media. Again, Minds.com, Gab.com. There's another platform, MeWe.com. Of course, Mastodon is very, very big. And I'm very heavily into Mastodon.com. Again, decentralized platforms. That they don't sell your data. They don't run commercials every 5 seconds. They don't run ads. And that's just where the world's going. Eventually, if you don't do it right now, then eventually you will have to do it. So that's totally up to you. Alright, so that concludes. This is Eric Erb Live. You can find me online at the Eric Erb. You can find me online at ericherblive.org or on Spreaker.com/Eric Erb Live, and then of course on Anchor.fm/Eric Erb Live. Like, share, subscribe if you like this podcast. Stay safe, take care, folks, and most importantly, God bless you and your families.